What's Cooking Show, CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn. That's Paul Stern. I got to watch that Whale Wars show. Now I'm excited about it, and I appreciate the honesty of the guests here on the show, Captain Chuck Swift and Fiona McQuaig, because Chuck at least said, hey, check out the stories. Fiona said if she had to eat one or the other, she would do farm raised. And a lot of you people say, well, farm raised, I'm not going to eat that seafood. There's an argument for it. Everybody's eating all the wild stuff. There's no seafood left. The fish are leaving us. Add to that the oil spill there, the BP cap. And we got some problems. We're just here to kind of bring your awareness of that. It might make you think, okay, tell me about this farm raised. Paul and I, we did research on this. Sustainable seafood, they actually have the fish raised in the wild, and they can move the fish in a big, huge kind of a net, like a cage in the water, but it moves around to different areas of the ocean. So if they're doing a lot of this stuff in Australia to raise seafood that is naturally raised. So it can actually live and go in the new fresh waters. And I think I would go that route.
Going to have to check out the Whale Wars again Fridays on Animal Planet. I wonder, is Animal Planet the network that also brings us that program? I think it's called Deadliest Catch.
Yes.
Have you seen
it's
that
one? It's either Discovery. I think it might be Discovery.
Okay, it could be Discovery, but that's a good program as well, where they bring up like these. I hate to pit them against the people over at Whale Wars, but I guess they come from opposite ends of the spectrum.
Oh yeah.
That Deadliest Catch show, they'll do anything for like those big crabs. You know, they literally bring up those cages. You know, they set the cages, and boy, I would. Glad that we don't have our guests on from Whale Wars listening to me talk about this with some fondness.
But they get for the big stuff over there.
Yeah, I mean, they bring up these crabs, and they look at the crabs like you and I would look at like gold bars. I mean, they can literally, just by eyeing those crabs.
That would be bad. These Whale Ward guys would hate us for talking about this.
Yeah, they probably would. And I'm
now, speaking of that,
rating on their parade.
I have an announcement here. Apparently,
fishing in their pond.
The Playboy company has announced a new WorkSafe website.
Oh.
So those of you, this is from the Jeff Harris file. I got this one here. Those of you that like to
for Jeff Harris,
take a nap while you work, or maybe peruse the computers.
I thought you were going to give. I thought you were going to give like Tomas at least an honorable mention on that one.
Tomas was doing a lot of research, and there is, but Tomas may pick up on this one. There's a WorkSafe Playboy website with no like naked pictures or anything on there, so you can actually read the articles and still get the gist of what's going on. But if somebody walks into the office, they don't know you're sitting there wasting time on Playboy's website. So that is new. They have just announced that today. I thought I'd pass that along as a public service to our audience. Raise your beer cans if you like that website out there.
Of course, they actually have
unanimous.
They have yet to actually get somebody to actually key into their website, but eventually it should take.
Now, you heard this in the last week in New York. They're working on the World Trade Center site, and that's a devastation there with all the lives that were lost. And they stopped work because they found buried there in that site the hull of a ship. Apparently, it was used to kind of like extend Manhattan Island there, and it's caused like a foundation, and like they would use parts of things like anchors and stuff. And so they're now excavating to see what this ship is all about that they've found discovered there. I find that fascinating, but then it's very easy to fascinate me on this stuff. Just thought I'd pass that along for you. That's some news that's out today. Also in the news for you today, they're saying if you're at the workplace, I have someone that sends me information as well.
Oh.
Not quite as interesting as yours that Cynthia sends to you.
I don't know who you're talking about. Our audience has no idea who you're talking about, Mike.
Cynthia Peckard produces our shows, and we're on the road, sends us this publication that's what's happening in Napa and Sonoma. And you made, I thought, great use of it, and there may be a little bit more that we can use today.
There certainly is. I've been holding it for a couple. Right, we have a few more days this week to cover this.
Okay, good. So then I'll tell you that in Palo Alto, California,
I look at this like it's gold.
That's like a gold bar for you.
It's like the Deadliest Catch.
That's right. Any information is good information. So they're saying there was a conference on the health dangers of sitting. Now, they've had conferences for everything, ladies and gentlemen. Heart disease, high blood pressure, everything. I'm telling you, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel when they have a health conference on the dangers of sitting. And when they had this conference in Palo Alto, this is no pun, most of the seats were empty. But the scientists and the health experts that were there, they gathered at the Stanford University, and they encouraged everybody to get up from your chairs, stretch your legs, pace the room, even stand during discussions ranging from whatever it might be, because they're saying the inactivity is bad for your body, and they want to reduce time on your behind. So it is good to get up and move around at the office place. This is why I have one of those portable earpieces so I can walk around and pop in on everybody while I'm talking to phone callers. So, and they said it would have been ironic if they let people sit through the conference. So they actually, can you imagine how tired you were standing up on your poor aching feet? But the human biology professor at Stanford organized this 2-day conference, and it's called The Science of Sedentary Behavior. So get off your rears and move around at work.
Talk about your rears. I couldn't help but notice that some of the news coverage of the Lindsay Lohan trial is attracting some of the crazies. I guess Beverly Hills, California is the location of the courthouse, and it doesn't seem to be
it was a zoo there, I'm telling you. It's crazy.
It's like shades of the O.J. Simpson fiasco.
Wow. You know that if you spend prolonged periods on your behind, you're more likely to be overweight, have heart disease, or even die.
Oh, that's not a nice thing to say.
But that's what the research came out with. Apparently, if you sit on your rear end, it decreases circulation, and the body parts, the body starts to shut down on a metabolic level. I keep hearing that kind of like a holy grail now, the words of Michael Jordan. I have to do something. I'm going to encourage him to stand while he eats his Caesar salad. I'm going to encourage, that's your new restaurant, a steakhouse where you stand while you eat. Maybe you can pump an exercise bicycle. We'll be back.
Are you struggling with too much credit card debt? Sky